Hello, welcome to my video of one of my puzzles being solved. This is Zombie 5 is Alive. It's a reference to Short Circuit movie, um, old 80s movie, I think. So let's quickly go over the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, and in this puzzle we'll have zombie cells that have to be determined by the solver. So a zombie cell lives on every row, one zombie per row, one zombie per column, and one zombie per 3x3 box. So potentially these could be zombies. And the other rule for zombies is there's no duplicate numbers or digits in the zombie. So if this is a 6, then the rest of the zombies cannot be 6. So it could be 7 and maybe a 2. But they do not repeat digits in the zombie. And the catch for zombie cells is, unlike normal digits that aren't zombies, the value of the zombie cell in this puzzle is always 5. That's why it's called Zombie 5. So non-zombie cells have retained their normal value. So for example, this has a value of 4. However, this 6 here, since it's considered a zombie, or at least in my example, it would have a value of 5. And values pertain to the rest of the clues. For example, the V clues, these two cells along with V clues sum up, the values sum up to 5. Yes, the values sum up to 5. The X clues, there's a few here, the values in the X pair, domino, sum up to 10. And there's, again, not the digits, but the values. The values along a green German whisper line the adjacent values must have a difference of at least 5. So, for example, if this digit is a 1, let's say a normal 1, have a value of 1, then the value next to it must be at least a 6. It could be 6, 7, 8, or 9, as long as it's at least 5 different in value. We have these white dots. Values along a white dot must be consecutive. So if this has a value of 5, then this one has to have a value of 4 or 6 to be consecutive with the 5. It could be, for example, 1, 2, or something like that. And the palindrome, these two, since this is just a very short palindrome, basically the values of these two purple cells are the same, and the values of these two orange ones are the same. Now, they're probably different than the purple, but the value of this orange cell is the same as this value of the other orange cell. So those are the rules. So I'm going to try to show my solve. There's a link in the description below to the puzzle, so you can try it yourself. Let me turn the little video back on. And I'll try myself. It's been a while since I did this puzzle or created this puzzle. There's a few tricky spots, but that's hopefully goes semi-smoothly. In this puzzle, I like to start with the V's, because the V's are easy. The V's sum up to 5, so therefore they have to have the values 1, 2, 3, or 4. And what's really nice about the V's is that we know that a zombie can't live on them because a zombie has a value of 5. And that would break the bank with these, because we can't have a 5-0 in this puzzle. So all these cells I'm going to mark as a light gray to indicate that it's not a value 5. So it can't be a zombie 5 and it can't be a normal 5. So gray in this, when I mark gray, I'm going to, as my help for myself, is just to say that it's not a zombie and it's not a 5. Another thing to note is 5 value can't possibly go along a German whisper. That's because if this is a 5, the next digit has to be either a 0 or a 10, which we don't have. Even with these zombie rules, we can't have it. So along any green line, rules out all 5s and all zombies. So let's just mark all those gray. Now we're narrowing down the puzzle quite a bit. So now let's focus on the most constrained column or area is this column 4. Because now there's only 2 locations for the zombie and 2 locations for the 5. So the question is, can a zombie or a 5 go in this spot? Well, if it was a zombie or a 5, it would have a value of 5, which would force a value 5 on this X to sum up to 10. And we already know a 5 cannot go on this spot. So therefore, this cell cannot be a 5, and it cannot be a zombie. So the only way for get this to work is actually place our first zombie, and it actually is the 5. So that's like the super special zombie, which has the same value of its digit. There will be no other ones. This will be the only zombie with the 5. But now we can go from there. And knowing this 5 zombie helps a lot. We know a zombie and a 5 live here. We know a zombie and a 5 live up here because they can't live along the gray. This is why I did all the grays. Even up here on this top row, 5 and a zombie lives in one of these 3 locations. So I like to jump up to this top row now. You can actually do either that row 7 or row 8. They're both very similar logic. The question is, we have this X clue that sums to 10, and we have this other no clue cell. The question is, can the 5 or the zombie go in this other cell? And if you test that, let's say the 5 or the zombie lives there, then the 5 has to live over here. Because remember, this can't be the 5 in the zombie because we already used the 5 in the zombie. So if this is a zombie, 5 has to live here in the X clue, which has to sub to 10. So it has to be 5 plus 5. And that's impossible because we can't have 5 and 5 digits. So it has to be a 5 zombie pair, and we already used the zombie here. So this digit can't be the 5 or the zombie because either way, they have to be paired together in this X to make it work. So this is actually a 5 zombie pair. One of them is a zombie with some other digit, which I'm not sure yet what it is. And the other one is a zombie. It's a 5. It's a digit 5, the normal 5. So now in this box, we have the pair of 5 and zombie, so we can rule out everything else. They can't possibly be 5 and zombie can't possibly be anywhere else in this box. So now let's go down to box, what is that, 7? And you have similar logic here. Is, can this one be a zombie or a 5? And we can't because we have this leftover 5 that has to be on the V. So that doesn't work. So very super similar to the top one, just right next to each other. This is a 5 zombie pair. The same exact logic goes here. This has to be a 5 zombie pair. So if you look at column 3, the only spots left for a zombie and a 5 are here. So this has to be a 5 zombie pair. Again, they can't be the same cell because they already have a 5. It's basically the rest of the puzzle. Every box has to have basically 2 5s, 2 value 5s in it. Has to have a zombie and the actual digit 5. So that's helps try to find them. And look at this row. The 5 and the zombie must live over here. And again, it's the same exact logic. Here they have to live together. Otherwise, the 10 will break. And now in column 9, where does the 5 zombie live? It can't live in this box. We already had the 5 and the zombie in this box. So they must live up here. Another phi zombie pair. So now we're kind of left with this. So now let's move on to, I think, column 4. We have, well, actually, let's quickly do this white dot. This white dot has to be low. It can't be high because it has to be next to at least a 4. So this is a 1, 2, or 3. It can't be a 4 because it has to be surrounded by 9. So this is 1, 2, 3. And now we know the parity of this line. It must be high, then low. Then back to high, back to low, back to high, back to low, back to high, and back to low. And I ruled out some digits. For example, 4s can't be here because it has to be surrounded by 2 9s. This potentially could be a 4 with 2 9s around it, so I can't rule that out. But I can rule out a 6 from here and here and here. So now if you look at column 4, you'll see that we have 2 lows here, and we have the 4 cells in the German whispers. Well, no matter what, if it's high, low, or low, high, there's always 2 lows in this green line with 2 lows here. So therefore this one has to be high. It can't be low because you run out lows. So that's a high. This is a low. This is high, low, high. So if you look at this column, the 6s can cause some issues here. The 6 is very forcing, and if you force the 6 down on this bottom of this green line, because it's either the 6 is either here or here. Can't be in the middle because it had to be surrounded by 2 1s. So if it's here, it forces a 1 up here and everything breaks. And that's because of this V. Because if this is a 6 and this is a 1, that knocks the 4 out of here because this would have to turn into a 2 3. So because the 6 1 knocks the 1 and 4 out of this V, making this the 4. And what would the 4 have to be next to? It would have to be the composite of 4 to add up to 10 is 6. So it would be a 6 1 with a 4 and then another 6. So a 6 here actually breaks the world. So we can't put the 6 here. The 6 must live here, along with the 4, which is very forcing because now that has to be next to a 9. The 4 takes out the 1 4 up here. Now we have a 2 3 pair looking down here. 1. This 4 knocks the 1 and 4 out of here. This makes this a 2 3. And now we actually have some of the parity of this line. Can't be 9, can't be 6. Let's do some cleanup. 9 1. This can't be 4 because the 9s are knocked out. That can't be 4. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So now let's use the palindrome. This 6 has to be there. It's the same values along the palindrome. And now this is slightly tricky. I tend to mess up here. The question is, you can actually do some Sudoku here. Because where does the 4 live in this box? And that's a slight tricky question right now. But if let's just fill in the possibilities of box 5 first. So the possibilities box 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 7, and 8. Oh, we have a 2 3 pair here. That cleans up some more. That's a 1. 1. This can't be a 6. So now this has to be a 1 4 pair because of the 2 3s there. We still don't know if it's 4 3 or 1 2. But we knock this out. So what's the possible values of this cell? it's either a 4, that's the zombie, or 5, 7, 8. But let's actually look up here first, because we actually have some Sudoku we can do here. See this 4? We have 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, and a 1. So these had to be 4, 5, 6. We know the 5 is not up here. And the 4 here forces a 6 here. And now we have the 4, 5 here. So we actually have another known digit. The zombie 4 lives here because of this 6. So this can't be 4. Because if this is a 4, it would be the natural 4, because we already have the zombie 4. And then there's no fill for this palindrome. So the 4 does not live here. The 4 lives up here in box 2, which does some Sudoku. Now the 1 is next to a 2, which makes this a 3, forces these to be 8. Get some more Sudoku done. 1, 2, 7, 9. So this is a 4 with a 5, 7, 9. Now, can this be a 1? No. If this is a 1, it can't be next to a 2, so it can't be 1. However, we got to be careful here, because there's a chance. Oh, sorry, I saw some Sudoku here. This is a 7, sorry. There's a chance that this is a zombie 1. But can this be a zombie 1? Can it have the value of 5? That's a better question. Can it have a value of 5? Well, this would have to be a 4 or 6. And it can't be because of 4 or 6. So this, in fact, can't be a 5, and it can't be a zombie. And it can't be a 1, a natural 1, because of this 2. So we can place the 1 in this box. So these are all natural, because we ruled out a value of 5 here. Actually, gotta be careful again. We know this is 1, but it might be the zombie 1. Is there a chance for that to be a zombie 1? Well, let's try to eliminate some other possible ones. So the zombie 1 could live here, or it could live here, because the ones are taking out everything else already. So is that the zombie? Oh, it's better to look at this. Look at row 3. We have to have a 5 and a zombie in this row. There's only 1 spot left for it. It can't be anywhere on the grays. So that is a zombie or a 5. So that pushes this down. This has to be a zombie or a 5 also. So this is a zombie 5, and now we already have our 2 zombie 5s in row 5. So that actually rules out the 1. And we already ruled out this one, so here's the other zombie 5. Zombie or 5 pair. So this is a zombie 5 pair. So in column 5, that rules that out. And now we know where all the zombie and 5s are relatively are. We know that this can't be a 4 now, because the 4 zombies already used. We can place the 4. We have the 5, 7, 9 looking down at the 8. So this is a 7, 9. Looking at this 8. Ooh, so now we know that the 7 has to be a zombie here. So the 7 can't be a zombie here. So this is a 5, 9. So the 9 is a zombie there, making this a 7. This is the 9. Let's look again at the 1s, because 1s can't live here. They can't live here, here, or any of these. So the only spot left for the zombie 1 is here. So this is a 1, 5 with the zombie 1. I want to mark the corner marked as the zombie digit. So what about the threes? Threes can't live here. Oh, no, just do twos? No, it would be easiest. Threes can't live here, here. And they can't live here. That's easy. 2-3 pair looks here, 2-3 pair looks here. This 3 looks here, so the only spot left for the 3 is here. So this is a 5-3. Which makes this the 2, nope, sorry, 3, nope, 4, 7, 8, 7, 8. Wow, I'm bad. All right, the 8 looks at that 7. All right, so what's left? We have 1, 2 can't live here or here because of these pairs again. So this is a 5-2. There's only a spot left for the zombie 2, or the, you know what I mean? And these are, so we got 1 done, 2 done, 3 done, 4 done, 5 done. We have 6 and 8. So these are 5, 6, 8. These aren't 8. So that makes this a 5, 6 pair. So the 6 zombie lives somewhere there. So this is a 5, 8 pair. Because the other, hope that makes sense. Because the 6 has to live, the 8 zombie has to live here, so it can't live here. And this has to be a 5 something. That's a zombie, which has to be a 6. So let's do some Sudoku. These are all low digits. 4, 2, 3. Let's look down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, I think. So this is a 3, 7. This is a 2, 3, 9 and something else. 2, 3, 9, 8. There might be a faster way to do this now. So I think we're done with this logic now. So we know that this is a zombie or a 5, but I don't know which one's which. But we know the value's the same. I think Sudoku will solve that soon. What is in this column? 2, 3, 5, 9, and a 6 up here. So 2, 3, 5, and 9, 6, no 3. What a horrible pencil mark. 2, 5, 9. What am I missing? Something simple I'm missing? Is it a German whisper logic? 1, 2. This token B3, that's an 8. Oh, 2, 3 pairs looking at this. There, that's easy one. 2, 3, 7, and now this has to be a 2 to be next to the 7 on the whisper. Aha, now we got some resolving done. These 2 cannot be the zombie, they're the natural 5. These are the zombies. An 8 and a 6. Oops. And the last digit here should be right in 4. That's a 1, 2, 3. Looking up at this 4. This 2 is here 1, 2. The 1 looks back now. 5, 1. Looks up 4, 5. So the 5s are the normal ones. Got our zombies done there. This is a 2, 6, 9 and something else, 7. 6, 7. 3, 4, 6, 8. I do the pencil marks just to speed up dumb mistakes. I I keep going back personally between using them and not using them for myself, but sometimes I'm in the mood to use them. In videos, I tend to use them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is, 6 or 7. A form of light cheating. But the fun part about the puzzles personally, I think, is less to do with the Sudoku, more to do with the logic, other logic around it, which Sudoku plays obviously a role, but it's not the main fun of the puzzle to me. Nine. We should be wrapping up here. Let's see. 1, 2, 5. Which one's the easiest spot to start? If I'm missing something easy, probably. Let's just write them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6 is here. 6. Oh no, 6 is already done. 7. 7's here. 8 and 9. Is 9 done? 9 is done. All right. That's 9. That's 3, 7, 8. 5, 7, 5, 2. So now we fully have our zombies complete. And the 5s are complete. In fact, the 5s should be a different color because they're not really gray in my world. Yeah, like yellow. 3, 8. That's the 7. Now the dog fixes the ambiguity. 1, 2, 3, and a 6. 6, 2, 3, 2, 9, 2. Where's the 8? 8 goes there. Where's the 9 go? 9 goes there, and the 3. So you did not short circuit. Another reference to the movie. I hope you enjoyed it. It's not one of my favorites. It's pretty low rated for on German Logic Masters, but I think it's not too bad. It's kind of like it plays with the notion of finding 5s, but not just finding 2 5s. It's not just finding 1 5 everywhere, which is typically something you need to do with German whispers and V's and X clues, is to use the fact that 5s can't be on them. And this puzzle kind of takes it to more of extreme, so that there's more than just 1 5 to worry about. There's basically 2 5s to worry about. And it's kind of cool that it's an odd number of 5s, because you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 5 values in the grid, which is kind of fun. But hope you enjoyed it. If you like this puzzle, my actual real favorite is let me quickly go to it. My truly favorite of my own personal puzzles is Fog Eraser. Let me just clear the fog here. This is similar to not as similar, but these have semi-zombie cells. I call them erasers here, that have the value of 0. So it's similar to the other one, but instead of 5s, there's 0s that break some rules and does some stuff. But this is in Fog, and Fog is always more fun. So this is my personal favorite. If you like Zombie 5 is Alive, definitely try out Fog Eraser. I think you'll really enjoy it. The other way around, not so much. A lot of people don't like Zombie 5. This is to me my best puzzle. All right, thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed it.